Hi everybody, Megan Bullington here. I have our first recipe for our summer series of Hot Summer Cool Kitchen. When it is hot outside, you do not want to turn your oven on to 350 degrees. So the next 4 recipes are all going to be recipes you can eat without heating up your kitchen. Today's recipe is kebabs with cauliflower rice, and I'm going to walk you through how we make it. The first step is really easy. I have 2 pounds of beef stew that I've put in a gallon-sized baggie. I have half a cup of coconut aminos and 2 cloves of garlic. All we're gonna do is pour our half a cup of coconut aminos in the bag. We're gonna crush our garlic into the bag. Now remember, with Pampered Chef's garlic press, you don't have to peel the garlic first. And our second. Now you're gonna mix this up. Get your beef stew covered. Zip it up. Now you're going to want to put this in the fridge for at least a couple hours. You could do it the night before, or you could do it in the morning before you go to work, and then just leave it in the fridge. Next, I'll walk you through how we're going to make the kebabs. Okay, you should have had your steak marinating overnight or for at least a couple of hours. So now we're going to get started on the vegetables. You can't have kebabs without bell peppers. So the first thing I'm going to get started on is my bell peppers. Cut my tops off. Use my scoop loop to get out the seeds. And now we're going to cut it into chunks. Then we're going to do wedges of red onion. I have rinsed mushrooms. And last we're going to cut our zucchini. Now I'm going to use my simple slicer with my zucchini, just so I can cut it all the same size. I'm going to cut it on 3, the biggest cut. Tablespoons of melted coconut oil that I'm going to drizzle over the vegetables and mix in. Okay, before we start loading our skewers, I'm going to get my grill preheated on medium heat. Okay, let's start loading these skewers. Are loaded, so now I'm going to pour the rest of the marinade on top of it and sprinkle a little sea salt before I load them on my grill. Okay, while we have our kebabs cooking, now we're going to start our cauliflower rice. If you've never riced cauliflower before, all you're really doing is grating it and then cooking it. I'm going to use my multi-slider and grater to grate my cauliflower, and I'm going to show you how that works. Got my grating blade in there, and I've got my cauliflower rinsed and cut up. So let's get this started. All I need to do is put my cauliflower in here. Next, we need a couple of tablespoons of finely diced fresh cilantro. This is what cilantro looks like. You don't want the stems, you just want the leaves. So we're going to strip it and dice it. What you need to do is take your knife, this is going to go with our riced cauliflower. It adds a lot of flavor. Okay, I've got my rock crock heating up, and now we're going to make our cauliflower rice. I've heated my rock crock up on medium heat, and I've added 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And now we're going to add our riced cauliflower. We're going to put it in there. We're actually going to let it toast a little bit on the bottom first. So we're going to take a spoon, we're actually going to flatten it down. And we're going to let it cook in the pan like this for 2 or 3 minutes without stirring. Okay, now that we've toasted it for a few minutes, we're going to add 1/3 cup of chicken broth. Now I have 2/3 cup. We're going to add 1/3 cup first. as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. We'll stir. While our cauliflower is cooking, I'll show you how the skewers are coming along. I'm searing both sides, and then I'm covering to let it cook through a little bit more. With steak, you want to cook for about 9 to 11 minutes, unless you want it more done, in which case you cook it longer. Okay, everything's been absorbed, so now we're gonna add 1/3 cup again of chicken broth, our fresh cilantro that we cut up. We're gonna stir that together. We're gonna cook it again until it absorbs all the moisture. Okay, my riced cauliflower is done. I've set that aside. I actually have some extra vegetables that didn't make it onto the skewers, so I'm gonna saute these and add them to our dinner. My rock crock is still warm, and I added some oil, so I'm just gonna add these in here. Okay, so it's finished and it looks delicious. So there you have your kebab, your riced cauliflower, and stir fry veggies. I hope you enjoyed this. Comment below if you have any questions. Bye!